Okay, so the first section here, it says determine whether each solid is a polyhedron. Okay, well, what's a polyhedron? We reviewed this last week, but I know you might not remember quite. A polyhedron is a 3D shape where all faces have straight sides. So when we go through this and we're just trying to name whether it's a polyhedron or not, that's what we're looking for. Do all the faces have straight sides? Okay, so number 2, all these faces do have straight sides, so yes, this is a polyhedron. Number 1, it has curved edges, so this would be not a polyhedron. And then number 3, all straight sides, so yes, it's a polyhedron. And then we're going to continue that with 4, 5, and 6. Is this a polyhedron? Do all the faces have straight sides? No, there's definitely curved edges there, so not a polyhedron. A sphere, definitely a lot of curved edges there, so not a polyhedron. And then a rectangular prism, all straight sides for sure. So yes, it is a polyhedron. Okay, and then the second part of this problem says, okay, so determine whether each solid is a polyhedron, then identify the solid. We already identified the solid. If it is a polyhedron, name the bases, faces, edges, and vertices. Okay, so the bases, and we're not going to do for each one of these, we're just going to do this one. The bases here of this shape, we would use this as a base, and this is a base. It would be like the top and bottom are the bases. So bases would be rectangle, HJKL, and rectangle, EFGD. Faces. Faces would be all the flat surfaces in this shape. So it would be, we're just going to count the faces. So the faces would be this top and bottom. So that's 2. And then we have the side here, 3 faces. This one over here, 4th face. And then the front and the back would be a total of 6 faces. And that's how it's normally asked. It's normally asked, how many faces does this shape have? And then it asks for edges. Sometimes they'll ask you, how many edges does a shape have? Edges are just like the lines, so maybe it would be segment HL, or segment GL, or segment LK, etc. And we can count how many edges it has. Let's see. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I feel like I'm going to miss something. 10, 11, 12. So it has 12 edges. And the last thing it asks for is vertices. So I'll kind of put this off to the side because I'm running out of room. Vertices are like the corners, like this. So like point L and point K, etc. So we can count how many vertices it has. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 vertices. 8 vertices. Okay. Then we could do that all for this shape, but we'll stop there and just kind of move along. This portion right here, it says identify the three-dimensional figure and then state whether it's a polyhedron. So we already identified it and we already stated whether it's polyhedron. So we're good with 4 through 6. And then through 7 through 12 here, it says find the surface area and volume. However, remember we already covered volume last week, so we're just going to focus on surface area. So for all of these, we're going to be finding surface area. And so here you can see 6 different shapes. That is a lot for your brain to take in at one time. We're going to cut this down a little bit. We're not going to do 7 or 8. Also, this gets covered again at the end of the year too. So we're covering it now. And then we're also going to cover it again in chapter 12. Okay, so number 9. Remember we're finding surface area. What surface area is when you find the area of all the surfaces, and you add those all up to find the surface area. What's nice is there is an equation for this, and it is on the reference sheet. So we're going to be using the equation to kind of shorten the process a little bit. So if you look at the reference sheet, we already identified it as a pyramid. So we look for pyramid, and it has SA means surface area. It seems to have 2 different equations, but these 2 equations are the same thing. HS stands for slant height. L also stands for slant height. So it's just the same equation. And if you forgot what any of these letters mean, there's a key over here, and it shows L is slant height. So L, which is new to us, would be slant height, and you can see slant height for this would be this 17 feet right here, slant height. Okay, so first thing we're going to do for this problem is write down the equation. So the equation that I'm taking right off the reference sheet is surface area equals area of the base plus 1/2 perimeter of the base times slant height. I'm going to zoom in so we put another maybe a lot here. Okay, so these letters here, I'll grab even a different color. Capital B, area of base, P, perimeter of base, and L is slant height. Kylo, don't fall asleep. Write this down. Okay. Okay, so from here, I'm going to start plugging in numbers. Let's see. Surface area equals area of the base. It's a square. I can see that's 16 by 16. So to find the area of that square, I would just do 16 times 16. Then plus 1/2 the perimeter of the base. So it's a square, so it'll just be 16 plus 16 plus 16 plus 16 plus 16 plus 16 plus 16. And then slant height is 17. Okay. Then once I have all the numbers plugged in, it's just a matter of following order of operations here. So surface area equals, we have to solve everything in the parentheses first. 16 times 16 comes out to 256 plus 1/2. 16 plus 16 plus 16 plus 16 is 64 times 17. Grab it. And once I have that, I'm going to multiply these together. Remember, I have to do the multiplication before the addition and subtraction because of order of operations. So 1/2 times 64 times 17, I get 544. So surface area equals 256 plus 544. Surface area equals 800 feet squared.
So
Yes.
the 64 times, so it's in the 1,088.
Yes, but then times 1/2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you did it like separate steps, that's fine.
So you do it over here.
Yeah, you could do it separate. That's fine too. Okay. Next, number 10. We have a rectangular prism. Again, we're finding surface area, so I'm going to look at the reference sheet for prism. Surface area is right here. And if you forget what those letters mean, you have the key right here. So B is area of the base, P is perimeter, and so on. So for surface area, a rectangular prism, 2 area of the base plus perimeter times the height. That would be area of base. P is perimeter of base. And then H, height of the prism. Like so washed out. Would it help if I put the, oof, I'm gonna put one light out so it's not so washed out. Okay, so then from here, area of the base, it's a rectangle, so surface area equals 2 times area of the base, which would be 5 times 2 for that rectangle, plus perimeter of the base, so this would be 5, 2, this would be 5 and 2. We can add up these numbers, 5 plus 2 plus 5 plus 2 times the height of the prism right here would be 6. And then we're going to use order of operations to solve, so we're going to make sure to solve what's in the parentheses first. 7 plus 7, 14 times 6. That 2 is separate from this. Okay, and then do your multiplication before you do any addition, subtraction. 14 times 6 is 84. 104. Okay. Are you ready for the next one? Okay, so for a cone, again, we're just going to look at the reference sheet for the surface area equation. For a cone, both of these are the same thing. Surface area equals area of the base plus pi r L. Area of the base plus pi r L. L being slant height. And then B, area of the base, would be pi r squared, area of base, which is a circle, so pi r squared. Another thing that comes up in the homework and on like testing and stuff, this is area of the base, of course. This part of the equation is also called lateral area. So this area of the base, and then this part around here is called the lateral area. Lateral area. So sometimes it'll ask just for the lateral area, meaning it wants the area of what's around it and not the base. Okay, so now that we know all that, we have pi r squared for area of the base plus pi rl. And then I will start plugging numbers into this. I'm going to use 3.14 for pi. Radius, it shows diameter is 10, so radius would be 5. And then L, slant height, it shows it right here is 13. And then from here, we'll solve this using order of operations, of course, to do the exponent first. Multiply these two numbers. And then multiply these three numbers. And surface area equals 282.6 yards squared. Of course, that is a little bit rounded because of the pi. So like if the answer choices were a little bit off, like let's say it said 283, we still did it right. It's just they rounded the pi differently or didn't round the pi. And the last one is a sphere. Sphere is actually the easiest one of them all. The equation is the shortest. It's just surface area of a sphere. So here I went sphere, surface area, 4 pi r squared. So surface area of a sphere, 4 pi r squared. Surface area equals 4. We use 3.14. Shows the radius is 1.8 squared. And bring this down. You have to make sure to do the exponent first. So you get 3.24. And then multiply these three numbers, we get 40.69 centimeters squared. That. Okay. And that is all. So, from here, this is your to-do list. There is a homework assignment on this on Schoology. Also, leave this out so I can give you credit for it. So just leave all the work out and I will come around and give you credit for it. Start your weekly Alex. Make sure to ask questions. That is important. If you get stuck, please ask questions. And I'm going to stop.